He hits a drive to right field. Hits it pretty well. Betts is back.
Welcome to Off the Field. I'm glad to have you on my show. I mean, we go way back, but you've been a baseball player for I don't know how long now. I remember you starting off in high school at Fort Lauderdale High, and then you went to a different school, and then you went to the leagues, and like you became a professional baseball player. So I'm proud of everything that you've accomplished so far. So let me say that congratulations to you, because that's not easy being in that space. There's not that many of us in that space. I want to say when it comes to our generation. So back then, it felt like everybody was just into the stereotypical sports like basketball and football and track. Nobody was really doing baseball like you. So that's something that's always stuck out to me. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Definitely was a fun ride, and baseball's always been a love of mine. And I want to thank my brother and my dad for that because they kind of introduced me to the game. And
I saw that.
yeah, I excelled with it, and I kind of had a one goal in mind, and I'm so grateful that I got that opportunity to fulfill my dream.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a dream come true to make it to the major leagues. So, I know you just said that, your love for baseball started off with your dad and your brother. Tell me about like, did they have a history of playing baseball, or did they just kind of put you in that sport to kind of get you in a different direction other than the typical sports a lot of our peers were into?
Well, my pops was a basketball player, and my brother actually played baseball. And being a younger brother, you want to do what your brother do. So I kind of just followed him to practice, and I watched him go about his thing on the baseball field. And I fell in love with the game. And my pops got books, started watching the game, learned the game well, and he was my first coach. So those two really kind of like I said, opened that avenue. It wasn't them uh, trying to steer me in a certain direction. It was just like I love basketball. I love playing sports. I love baseball. Like it's something that the Sweeney family does. But when it comes down to it, baseball was the one that I really excelled at and really enjoyed and love. I don't know if it was just the difference of being somewhere that not everybody looks like me. I don't know what it was, but it definitely was something I
Yeah.
kind of just, like I said, I gravitated to.
What age did you actually start?
T-ball, 4 years old, 4 or 5 years old. That's the first time I ever picked up a
Oh,
bat. And like I said, I played other sports as I grew up, but I never put down baseball. Like I always picked up other sports and juggled the other sports around baseball. But when it came down to it, in my mind and in my heart, I was going to be a baseball player. So
right. Now, you went to two different high schools. So I know you went to Fort Lauderdale High, and then what school did you transfer to after that?
I transferred to American Senior High in Miami.
Okay, so what was that transition like as far as like the baseball programs that each school had?
Um, it was a different kind of baseball. Going to Lauderdale, it was more of a uh, my brother and sister graduated from Lauderdale, so I felt like that was the path I was supposed to go into. And I knew I was going to be on the baseball team, and I tried out for the baseball team, and I made the team. So it baseball was kind of like behind like everything else at that moment. 'Cause I was just playing it. It wasn't like a real thought process of like what's the next level. But
Okay.
being at Fort Lauderdale, to be honest, competition wasn't really good, and we weren't we weren't putting myself how I looked it to the next position to get to the next level. So I had to make low key a business move at my freshman year to kind of find a school that they put a little bit more effort into the baseball program if that's what I wanted to do at the next level.
Right, right. And so that's at American Senior. Like that's what they offered. And what are some are like as far as the coaching goes, who are some of the coaches who really made an impact starting out in high school?
So yeah, at American, I had a guy named Chris Keeley, who was a former uh, pro player. Ricky Gutierrez, who is a former big leaguer. Um, RB Sosa, who was a former scout. So they kind of understood the next round. They understood like how things go about like getting recruited and getting drafted. So like I said,
Mhm.
me making a business move at that age is like I knew I wanted to be a baseball player. So I had to put myself in a situation where people knew more than me and knew more than my family. So they can kind of give us the information that we need to for me to move on and take the next step.
Right. So like making those types of sacrifices, right? And I can totally relate with you to when I left junior year at Fort Lauderdale High just to go to Ohio and move um, to an Ohio high school to go to Ohio State to qualify for in-state tuition. So I understand like, the sacrifices you make when it comes to your long-term goals. And
Right.
that's something that was really cool that you did. So kudos to you for that. Now, when it came to, you know, your studies and stuff like that, how were you able to manage that back then? And what was that like when you reached the collegiate level?
It definitely was it wasn't that hard for me. I was pretty good with the grades and my books. I think what also was a thing was my parents made sure to let me know that like if my grades wasn't right, I couldn't be on the field. But then I started taking the onus on myself and understanding if I wanted to play college, I'm gonna have to get the grades to get accepted into the college to play. So like I said, I just learned how to kind of time manage my baseball work and my school work. And when I got to college, it kind of what I did in high school kind of helped, but college was a whole another realm. Um, so I utilized all the
Mhm.
um, I guess stuff that they had for us as in like tutoring and study hall and stuff like that because I knew I was going to be able to do it on myself by myself. So I was able to kind of get those guides to kind of help me and allow me to keep my grades up while I was in college to so I can continue to play and continue to go.
Right, right. So using the resources they gave you, as an athlete. And how did you make the decision to go to UCF? Like, I know that you loved being a knight, but what went into your decision-making process to choose that
Um,
school?
so obviously with the recruiting process going to college, baseball was on my mind. Obviously, I transferred in high school, so like that was a big baseball was a big importance of going to a or institution that was going to allow me to play right away. And and have a good fit to kind of like get to that next level from college to pro. So I actually my first number one choice was Florida, University of Florida. Um, Revert,
Okay.
my brother went to University of Florida, so being a little brother, I just wanted to kind of follow in his footsteps. Um, they'd offer me a
Hmm.
scholarship, but there was a lot of shady stuff under the table that
Oh,
allowed
really?
allowed me not to go ahead and commit there. Um, and then I had a
Oh.
couple other scholarship offers from different schools, but what actually allowed me to land at UCF is I was in contact with LSU with the recruiting and recruiting process to go to LSU, and the coaching staff that were recruiting me at LSU went to UCF and got the job at UCF. So I kind of basically stayed with them with those guys that were recruiting me at LSU. I stayed with them at UCF, and I was part of their first recruiting class at UCF. So it was kind of like
Okay.
a win situation where I didn't have to travel too far from home. I could have been in state, and
Yeah.
they kind of gave me the opportunity to start as a freshman and play every day, and I saw that would be a good fit for me to get to the next level. So I picked UCF.
That's awesome. So the recruiting was a factor, right? And how the experience was with you making your decision. Because a lot of, you know, when you're in college, I mean, now they have like, NIL and stuff like that, obviously, but back then, right. But back then, that wasn't a part of the package. So there were other things that kind of superseded over, like it's playtime, really. That's what it came down to. What are some of your most memorable moments that you had at UCF being at night? Because I'm sure there. I mean, I'm sure you stood out. There weren't that many black baseball players. Again, that's like a sport that not many of us really tap into unless like you had somebody who was influential in your family, like your dad and your brother. So, what was that like for you?
Um, it was cool. We had a couple brothers at UCF that came in with me. Um,
Okay.
Ronnie Richardson, um, Chris Duffy was there. So we had quite a bit, but obviously it wasn't the majority. But at UCF, man, it was fun times, man. We had a great group of guys. Freshman year kind of like laid the foundation with how to be a collegiate athlete, how to be a student athlete, and kind of just basically kind of learning that transition, being away from home and being on your own, and kind of learning yourself as a person. But then like sophomore year, junior year, it started really getting fun because we started winning, and I think my sophomore year when we made the postseason for the first time, um,
Hmm.
while at UCF, it like I said, it kind of looked like there was the foundation kind of building for that program because now what the program is now, it's in a bigger conference. It's just on a regional championship, and they're starting to kind of turn in the right direction because I feel like UCF could be a powerhouse in baseball, and now they're starting to put the numbers up and showing the world that UCF can play.
Right, right. True Florida boy right there. I mean, your love for UCF is it runs pretty deep, I see. And that's really cool. But when you left college, right, obviously you got drafted. What was that like? Like when you got that phone call and that was for the Dodgers. I mean, that's a huge like powerhouse team in the big leagues. What was that experience like for you?
Um, to be honest, it was a dream come true, but it was also like um eye opening because going into junior year, I was ranked pretty high in Division 1 in the position I was in, so I thought I was gonna be picked at least top 5 rounds. And
Okay.
and not knowing how everything kind of worked with the draft and how pro and how it's a business and everything. Um, I just assumed whatever they said that was going to happen, it was going to be in that realm. Um,
Hmm.
but but it didn't work out like that. And
Because at first it was the Marlins, right?
yeah,
Like,
I got drafted out of high school with the Marlins, yeah, but I didn't take that contract to go to UCF.
oh, okay. I see. I
Yeah.
see. That was pretty big though. That's huge.
Yeah, so like I said, it was one of those things where like when with the Dodgers, I thought I was gonna go earlier, so I feel like it kind of helped me keep a chip on my shoulder when I got the Pro Bowl and not be content
Yeah.
with just being in Pro Bowl and getting my foot in the door, but like actually working my way up the stairs to the big leagues. Um, but like I said, it was a relief that I got the opportunity, but it was also a little fire. I was like, yo, like. I should have went higher in the draft, but now since I'm in here, let's show them that they the Dodgers did make the right decision, and every other team made the wrong.
Right. Now, back then, what was your favorite team? What was your ideal team that you wanted to play for? Was it the Dodgers or was it
Like you said, I'm a
somebody
Florida
else?
boy, so I grew up watching the Marlins. Actually, like I said, I got drafted by the Marlins out of high school, but um, like I said, making business decisions, I wasn't ready to be a pro at the time, so
Hmm.
I missed that opportunity to play for them. But if the Marlins would have picked me up out of college, it would have been special to wear that jersey across my chest because, like I said, I grew up watching the Marlins since when they won it the first time in 1997.
When you went with the Dodgers, right? What was something that stuck out about their process? I know you wanted to go earlier in the draft and in the round, but what was something that stuck out to you that kind of sticks with you till this day?
Um, I think how they develop the players, how they're very attention to detail, um, and I think one of the things that I do like how they went about it is they didn't try to change you as a person. They didn't try to change you as a player. They just try to enhance what you already did well. Um, it was they allowed you to kind of be yourself, like to kind of have that swag and or flair, whatever you want to call it. They kind of let you kind of be you and and allow your play to dictate what's happening. So I think I think that shows like the effort of like trying to change the game to this old school, like monotonous game to allowing guys to kind of, like I said, kind of show their personality and like shoot colors
Right.
like that. So I think that kind of plays a part in why we're the organization that they are, because like I said, they allow their players to be them.
Hmm. I can see that. And I mean, you see more and more of that today, actually, um, out there on the field. But what is something that people may not know about baseball? Like when it comes to, you know, going from team to team. Some people don't really understand how that works behind the scenes. So, what is something that people should know?
I don't know how much time you got, but I feel like the main thing that people should know is when you get drafted by an organization, so like me with the Dodgers, I got drafted in 2012 with the Dodgers, but I didn't go and play for the Dodgers in 2012. There's a minor league system. So like
Right.
in other sports, major sports, NFL, NBA, you get drafted and you go to the team that you see. In baseball,
Okay.
there's a minor league system, so like you have to go through every stop and kind of prove yourself at every stop until you get to the big leagues. And
Mm.
obviously, the minor league pay was better now, but when I was there, the minor league pay isn't wasn't feasible to live or say that you're a pro player. So I think that's one of the things that people for don't really understand or realize that like these kids that are probably going to get drafted in the next weeks or so when the draft comes, they get
Hmm.
drafted by the organization, but then they have to go to rookie ball and then low A and then high A and then double A and then triple A before they get that opportunity to go to the big leagues.
Right. Right. Well, recently, like they just announced it I don't know if it was like yesterday or the day before, but Florida high schools are now athletes are able to get NIL. Okay. And I kind of foresaw that coming, obviously, but
At high
um,
school,
in high school, yes, yes, it's official. It's
yeah.
official. And I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, wow, it just lets you know how times have changed. Number one, but I think it's going to take away a little bit from the hard work that you have to put in as an athlete to get to the professional level. Um, Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because you made a huge sacrifice of like switching high school just to like perfect your game more. And now these kids are going to be like almost, they can be like millionaires in high school just from connecting with brands and stuff like that to help their image as an athlete, you know? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, um, this game has taught me like, and that's not just like the game of baseball, like just the game of like the grind to get to the money or to the professional level. It kind of taught me like that resilience and that adversity and stuff like that. Um,
Right.
but right now, like these kids, they don't have to deal with that as much as how we had to. So like, why should they have to go through what we go through when they don't have to go through it? So like,
Yeah.
when it's all said and done, like if I can do everything I need to do to alleviate my daughters from going through what I had to go through, I'm gonna do it. So like
Hmm.
we want the next generation to have better than what we've had. So like I don't mind super NIL stuff because like I said, when I was there, I wish I had it, but like we did what we needed to do so they can do better or have better. So
Right.
like I'm happy for these guys. Like it's something that I feel like it should have been done long time ago. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of places and businesses that are uh what I'm the word I'm trying to use for they're benefiting off of these athletes, and
Yeah.
athletes aren't getting nothing from this. And when it's all said and done, like before it was we couldn't even get the opportunity to get anything because it was an NCAA violation. So now, like now, they're allowed them to get something. The
Mhm.
money, I think, the money amount is astronomical, but
Yeah.
they just shown that they got money in this world. So like, and they got money to blow. So like I said, make your money as long as you can because once this game is done and you got to figure out what's next and that money's not coming in flow and like it used to, at least they can have something
Mhm.
back in high school or college.
Right. Right. And so I know that you played for like the Kansas City Monarchs. You played for the Cincinnati Reds. You've played for some major teams. Out of all the teams that you played for, which one are some teams that you really follow now closely? If you're
Um,
following
so yeah, I obviously
one,
like
or do you
I'm a
just
Marlins fan.
follow them all?
Yeah, like I said, I'm a Marlins fan, so obviously I follow the Marlins 24/7. Um, I keep up
The
with the
Marlins.
and
Okay.
I kind of just I kind of just watch baseball. Like I really don't have like a real like team or anything. I just I like to watch good baseball. So if there's a good game on, two arms that are really solid or a
Right.
good lineup that's going up against a good pitching, I sit down and watch the game.
Right. As you should. I mean, it's really about, the passion of the sport and the game itself. So it's not always about the money, obviously. But I mean, you've played in some states where um, I would say that not many people would go there as like a first choice, like in South Dakota. What was that like?
Um, it's a different state. Like it's I think every state has their own thing. And going to South Dakota, it was my first time ever being there, obviously, but
Yeah.
it was a cool experience. It was different to kind of be in their space and kind of learning what they do, um, what kind of makes them South Dakotians, I guess that's what you call them. But
Right, right. We could just say the Sioux Falls, right? That's
but like I said, it was cool to be out there. They got great food. really good restaurants out there. Um,
Okay.
and me being a foodie and was blessed to kind of play around this country and around this world, I like to find the local foods and the local little mom and pop shop and
Right.
kind of rate it. I should have did a blog or something.
Yeah, like or journaling or vlogging and stuff like that. Which I mean, we didn't really do that type of stuff back in our day. You know, it was just about we really got to just embrace the moment. I would say, not just put everything on social media. But things are different now. So, but it's still just embedded in our memory. So I know that the you recently announced you're not lacing up anymore, and I know that you were with the Mexican League. So, you know, how was that league? Like, what was that experience like as a culture? That's a totally different culture, um, but it looks like they embraced you well.
Yeah, man. The Mexican League was fun. It was short, but I had fun there. I think their game and their baseball is a little different than over here in the States, but it's still good baseball and everything down there, every game matters. There's no like, well, we're only in May, so we can make it up in June. It's every game has its own entity, and they want to go 1-0 every single game. And
Okay.
it was definitely exciting. It was definitely like very enjoyable to be out there and kind of watch the atmosphere. The crowd is electric every game. There's bands and music nonstop playing. It's a party. It's like legitimately an event out there.
Like a fiesta type of
Yeah, it's wild. So if you're a baseball fan, I think you should experience international ball somewhere. It doesn't have to be just Mexico, but like I said, I know Mexico because I played there, so it was definitely a fun moment and exciting time while I was there.
So looking back, if you could give your younger self some advice now, like what would you say? What would you tell yourself?
Um, wow, that's a good question. I've heard these questions, but I never asked this question.
Yeah.
What would I tell? And don't have to be super specific about every single thing. I say, um, enjoy the moment where you are. Like when I was younger, I was always looking at seeing what's next and
Hmm.
seeing like how to like I did something, but how can I get better for the next one?
Right.
I think I think if I was able to tell younger Darnell, hey, just
Mhm.
enjoy and embrace every moment that you're in. So I think that would have allowed me to kind of like I guess live slower.
Hmm.
I felt like when I was younger, I was moving around, and it wasn't even like crazy stuff. It was all basic. Like
Yeah.
I missed winning homecoming king because I was at a baseball tournament.
Right.
After graduation, 2 hours later, I was on the plane because I had to go to a workout. So like I didn't really like kind of embrace or enjoy. But that's not like at that moment and at that time I couldn't. Like that's just what we had to do. But I feel
Yeah.
like
I mean, you were trying to get to the big leagues. I mean,
right,
obviously there are sacrifices. Yeah.
exactly.
Wow. So I know you have some trading cards. I think that is just like so cool. I mean, how many trading cards do you actually have?
So like officially, like with tops, I have one rookie card when I was with the Phillies,
Yeah.
and then I have I think three Bowman cards
Okay.
that are floating around when I was a young prospect in the Dodgers organization, and then each organization that I was with, like each minor league team, they like make their unofficial like trading cards for the team. So like those are out there too. But like official like Bowman and tops, I have four.
Nice. That is so dope. I mean, your girls are gonna love that. That's something they can keep with them forever. So that's pretty cool. What's next for you though, Darnell? I mean, I know like you're into entrepreneurship. I know you have ideas, and I know you somehow want to still probably be involved with the sport. So, what are you working on, or what are you cooking up next?
So right now I'm currently in Trenton, New Jersey, because I'm a hitting coach for the State College Spikes. So it's
Okay.
the MLB draft league. Um, and I think this is just the next step in my career is to coach and ultimately to get back to the big leagues as a coach. Um, so I think this is a good step and a good stepping stone to hopefully this off season I'll find a job back into some affiliated team and start the process all over again. Hopefully quicker than the while I was a player, which when I was a player it was pretty relatively quick, but I'm ambitious. I don't stop, so I think uh,
Yeah.
I think that's my goal, and I want to get to the big league as a coach and business ventures that's in its infant stage. Um, and then I'm pretty excited about that and where that could take me. Because right now it's all about generational wealth and it's all about leaving legacy. And now having two little girls, it's about making sure that they are all right when they're off and into this world. So
Right, right. Talk about your support system. I know your wife has been like a key part in your journey. Like she's been there for you for a very long time and through this whole process. Of course, your parents, but it's different when it's your significant other.
yeah, man, that lady there, she's special, man. She definitely was my rock through the minor league system, through my baseball career. Um, one thing about baseball wives, they're not just wives, they're travel agents, they're baby, they're cooks, they're everything. So I think for her, man, I thank God that she kind of stood with me throughout this whole roller coaster, and I'm she's still there, and she's still supporting, and I'm here trying to chase another dream. She's home wrangling my two daughters. So that's I know that's grueling. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And how old are the girls now? Because I know you told me that one was graduating.
Yeah, no, not no, that was my niece that was graduating.
Oh, okay.
uh, my oldest daughter, she's turning 6 in August, so she's 5,
Oh,
and the baby is wow 7 months tomorrow or soon.
okay.
7 months.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. So you're like a true girl dad,
Ooh, girl,
I must say.
I should wear
Yeah.
my other hat. I got a hat that says "Girl Dad" over everything.
Oh, I love that. So Father's Day is coming up, and I assume that you're gonna put that hat on.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm glad that you joined me on Off the Fields because I think it's really insightful.
Business ventures that's in its infant stage, um, and then I'm pretty excited about that and where that could take me. Because right now it's all about generational wealth and it's all about leaving legacy. And now having two little girls, it's about making sure that they are all right when they're off and into this world. So
Right, right. Talk about your support system. I know your wife has been like a key part in your journey. Like she's been there for you for a very long time and through this whole process. Of course, your parents, but it's different when it's your significant other.
yeah, man, that lady there, she's special, man. She definitely was my rock through the minor league system, through my baseball career. Um, One thing about baseball wives, they're not just wives, they're travel agents, they're baby, they're cooks, they're everything. So I think for her, man, I thank God that she kind of stood with me throughout this
On
whole.
your journey. I think it can inspire this next generation just because, it's different these days when it comes to the hustle and the bustle and making sacrifices for your athletic career or, making it to the professional level. So I thank you for coming on off the field, Darnell. And I can't wait to see you in this coaching role, though, because I have yet to see you as a coach, always just as the player. But I think it's something that you're going to thrive at and you're really going to have a really good impact on this next generation of baseball players that you're going to be coaching. So good luck to you.
I appreciate it, and I want to give you your flowers as well. I've been seeing your interviews and all the stuff you've been doing. Congratulations, and I know there's more to come for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, yeah, thanks for coming on off the field and good luck to you on your journey. I think it can inspire this next generation just because, it's different these days when it comes to the hustle and the bustle and making sacrifices for your athletic career or, making it to the professional level. So I thank you for coming on off the field, Darnell. And I can't wait to see you in this coaching role, though, because I have yet to see you as a coach, always just as the player. But I think it's something that you're going to thrive at and you're really going to have a really good impact on this next generation of baseball players that you're going to be coaching. So good luck to you.
I appreciate it, and I want to give you your flowers as well. I've been seeing your interviews and all the stuff you've been doing. Congratulations, and I know there's more to come for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, yeah, thanks for coming on off the field and good luck to you.